Welcome to another episode of Chronicles of War. I'm Alex, and today, well, got another part to Don't Touch America's Boats. It also might be the last part. I don't know. Maybe, or at least the last part with one story being told during it. I might make another episode in the future with like multiple shorter stories in it. I don't know. That's a problem for future me to decide. But anyway, today, like I said, it's Don't Touch America's Boats Part Two for it. Gonna be fast forwarding quite quite a bit from the Barbary Wars. Going to head, just a few years to 1988. It's not that far at all. But today, yeah, we're going to be going over Operation Praying Mantis. Um, and it's different than what I've done previously before. It's not like part of a war or anything, or a war. But no, this is just a military operation that happened in 1988. So, without further ado, let's get into this thing. So, I'm gonna get some background a bit before we get to the operation itself. So, we start here with the Iraq-Iran war. So Iraq and Iran, they're fighting. I don't really know why. It's not really important to the story about why they're fighting. They just are. But anyway, Iran's wanting to get this war ended. So with Iraq, so they do what is honestly a fairly good strategy of destroying Iraq's oil tankers, because that way Iraq can't sell the oil, they run out of money, they can't fund the war, they have to surrender. It's a sound strategy considering that Iraq does not have a navy at this point, and what they had's been destroyed. But they're destroying these oil tankers now. Kuwait is like, hey, listen, I'm backing Iraq. I kind of want them to win so then I can get my money back and stuff. So, hey, Iraq, you can use my oil tankers. Now, this is, a bit of a problem for Iran, but, it's not really actually. They're just going to attack those ones too. But, slight problem with attacking Kuwait's oil tankers as well, because you see, Kuwait at this point in time is selling oil extremely cheap because they're not part of OPEC. Which I don't even know. I don't know what OPEC stands for, but it involves selling oil and stuff. But Kuwait not being a part of it means they can sell it cheaper than everyone else, which means it's cheaper. More people are going to buy from them. But the thing is, Kuwait's oil tankers are getting destroyed, which means they now have to raise the prices of oil. I don't know about you, but gas prices getting raised. It's not really a fun thing, because no one really likes that. So you know what happens when gas prices go up? America gets involved. The U.S. decides to protect Kuwait oil tankers. And we go to April 14th of 1988 here now. The USS Samuel B. Roberts is escorting a Kuwait oil tanker when suddenly hits a mine. Now, the problem with this is it hit a mine, but it's also in international waters, which if there's mines in international waters, then that's not supposed to be there. So The keel of the ship is destroyed now. On a for if you don't know what a keel of the ship is, I don't really know what it is either. I'm just going by from what I looked up. This stuff. You've got the hull of your ship, but then at the bottom there's this. I get this part of it along the bottom there. It's pretty much what is the bottom of it. There's the keel there. It's holding the ship together basically. So that's just gone now. The bottom of the ship is just gone. There's just a hole there. But ship almost sinks. But keyword here being almost sinks because it doesn't. The crew managed to keep this ship afloat and get it to a safe harbor, so they can get it out of the water and repair it. Miraculously, as well, none of the crew were killed during the explosion from the ship hitting the mine. So, anyway, someone just flew up one of America's ships, and we gotta find out who that is. So they go. There's other mines in the water around. Go and check them. That's suspicious. These mines happen to look just like the mines we seized from an Iranian barge in September. I wonder who could have put them here. Couldn't be Iran, could it? So, anyway, America's like, look, you touched our boats. I don't make the rules. You touched them. Now it's personal. So, April 18th, we're getting to the operation now. Operation Praying Mantis is away now. It's April 18th. The USS Enterprise, which is an aircraft carrier, and multiple attack groups. That's who's involved in this. These attack groups are made up of some destroyers and cruisers and stuff. It's just a bunch of smaller ships. We've got no battleships here because technically they're still in service at this point, but not active service. They're all in reserve, or are they at this point? I don't remember when the Iowa class battleships got back into service. Future episode maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. So the USS Enterprise and these multiple attack groups. Now the Enterprise is actually just there as just in case they need it. Not actually meant to take place in the operation. It's just there because why not? So got Group A. Now Group A is tasked to attack an oil platform because you see, Iran's got these oil platforms that they're using as military bases, naval bases, and not for oil. So, just gonna get rid of them. So, Group A rolls up to the oil platform. Well, is it really rolling up if it doesn't have wheels? Whatever. But anyway, they get to this oil platform. They're right over and hey, so we're gonna blow you up, and if you don't want blown up, I'd suggest you leave. And they wait some 20 minutes. They wait 20 minutes, and they fire a warning shot over it. At this point, an AA gun, which AA guns meaning an anti-aircraft gun, but anyways, AA gun on the oil platform starts to open fire at the ship. Now, who do you think would win? An anti-aircraft gun or a destroyer? Give you a couple seconds to think about it. If you thought the destroyer would win, you would be correct. The anti-aircraft gun just gets deleted from existence at this point, and the platform's like, all right, listen, don't fire this anymore. We'll go now. So the group's like, okay, you do that, and they just leave. So now platform's empty. Open up on the platform a bit from the warships there. Then a helicopter full of Marines go and land on the platform, go and set some charges, because we want this thing destroyed. It's not destroyed yet. So, land, plant charges, leave, detonate the charges, platform go kaboom. That's literally what my notes say. Platform go kaboom. But anyway, then two Iranian F4s. Those are planes. They decide they're gonna attack Group A, but destroyer locks their radar on them, which is essentially them targeting the planes, and they're like, you know what? I think I left the oven on at home. I'm gonna leave now. So that nothing happens there. Now, Group B, they're also going to attack a platform, and when they also get fired on by anti-aircraft gun, but when that happens, they don't stop firing at the platform, and so it gets destroyed by the ships. And with this one, Navy SEALs were supposed to go in to destroy the platform, but at this point they're really not needed because, well, there's no platform for them to destroy. So then, Iran's still trying to figure out what's going on, so they sent out some attack speedboats, but they just start attacking whatever they see, and what they do end up seeing is some civilian cargo ships and stuff. So some A6 intruders from the Enterprise get sent out, and they drop cluster bombs and end up destroying one of the speedboats and then damaging a couple others, which caused them to leave. And yeah, so then an Iranian ship starts going after attack group B. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the name of this ship because I've never heard it said before, so I'm not going to try it. But anyway, this Iranian ship's going towards them, and one of the American ships is just fires a warning shot. He's like, stop it. So the Iranian ship instead, fires a missile at an American ship, one of the American ships. Now, this missile is thankfully caught with chaff, which is basically bits and pieces of heat and metal that'll mess with missile tracking. But that gets sent up and catches the missile, and the American ships in response, go and fire 4 missiles. 1, 4, sounds about right. But they fire at the ship and it's gone. The ship's gone. It's been destroyed. So then got another 2 F4s. They try to attack Group B. They're going to attack them, and a surface-to-air missile gets fired at the planes. Yeah, surface-to-air is from the ship and goes after aerial targets. So they blow the wing off, part of the wing off one of the planes, and planes are like, nope, I'm out of here, and turn around. So far, we've got, if you're keeping score here now, total, we'll say, we've got 1 damaged U.S. ship versus the Samuel B. Roberts. I think it's that right? Yeah, Samuel B. Roberts, before the operation. And we got 2 destroyed oil drilling platforms that aren't being used for drilling oil, or technically anything now. a speedboat, a ship, and part of a plane, and probably a couple other bunch of other speedboats too. But that's like 5 to 1. But we're not done here yet. Now, uh, so Iran's got like 2 modern frigates for this time period. Well, modern by that time period standards at this point. So America's like, I mean, it'd be nice to destroy them, but like we don't have to. But anyway, there's some A6s from the Enterprise, flying around on patrol and stuff, and they see a ship, They see the ship and they're like, huh. So they're like, hey, they're like, hey, see a ship. Let's go check it out. So they go to check it out, and this is in fact the frigate Sahad. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. I'm only doing it because I've heard it pronounced before. But they go to check it out, and so for context here, the plane sent from the Enterprise is not actually there for combat, like I mentioned previously. So the planes are only able any planes from the Enterprise. They're only allowed to attack if either the president signs off on it, which the speedboats is what happened there, or they're attacked first. Well, long story short, Sahab fires missiles at the A6s. It misses because he dropped chaff and stuff. They hit chaff. He missed the planes, and instead, you know, the A6s. It's only 2 of them, so like they probably should just head the Enterprise, be like, hey, we saw one of the frigates. They attacked us, but instead they fire their own missiles at them, and they end up sinking it because they set it on fire and stuff. And when that happened, the fires spread to the magazine, which is where all the ammunition is stored, and that caused it to go kaboom, and it sunk. Now, these A6s, they're on their way back. They find another frigate. It's the other one. But they're like, we don't know if it's the frigate, so let's just, do a flyby, see if it is. Flyby, it is the frigate. It's the Sabalon. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Anyway, it opens fire on the planes. Well, we've been attacked. We don't have much in terms of ammunition left to actually do anything to this frigate, but I mean it's here. So what happens is one of the A6s uh goes and drops a laser guided bomb. It goes, and now this is just a perfect shot because it goes right down the smokestack of the frigate, right into the engine room. Engine room explodes, and now this frigate is just crippled, sitting there in the water, and it can't go anywhere because it's got no engine. However, the A6s don't have any weaponry capable of actually sinking it right now. So they just leave. They let them survive, Up and so they're like, okay, no, that's good enough. We taught them not to touch them. We got revenge for our boat. One boat, you know, 2 oil rigs, 2.5 ships because 2 sunk, 1 crippled. Um, took out a speedboat. Also took out the wing of a plane. all in all, pretty good day. Then after this, Iran, they're, pretty upset about this, but, the, you know, operation's already over. So they just, fire a Silkworm missile at a completely different U.S. ship. Nothing. It doesn't get hit, of course, but now we've got a really big problem. You see, America at this point in time is upset that, well, upset's not really the word for it. Really not happy that Iran has these Silkworm missiles, and has said that if Iran does uses said missiles, we're going to go to war with them. I don't know about you, but it's the '80s. Cold War's going on. If that happened, the greater than 0% chance of World War III happening. So gets covered up. Um, we tell the people, yeah, no, that actually didn't happen. Nothing happened because we don't want World War III happening in the '80s. But yeah, there. That's what happened during the that's the story of Operation Praying Mantis. Now, there's another part that I didn't include in that main part because I don't remember. I didn't see it when I was researching it. This just now for writing my notes. I didn't see that where this event happened, but when I originally learned about this, it was mentioned, but I don't remember when it happened, and I didn't have time to look at the video where I originally learned about Operation Praying Mantis at. But apparently, at one point, one of the groups sees this ship come up on the radar, but they're confused because it's a Soviet ship. They're like, "What are you doing here?" And they're just like, "I'm here to watch." Which, I mean, it makes sense because Operation Praying Mantis was quite literally one of the biggest naval operations since World War II. Like, this type of thing had happened since the war in the Pacific, pretty much, and also in the Atlantic stuff going on with U-boats and stuff. But yeah, that's Operation Praying Mantis. You know, thanks for listening. You know, I say this every episode, but you know, check the Twitter. Chronicles of War Twitter official account. At capital C Chronicles capital OFF 44. Um, Speaking of which, we got a logo now. I finally made it. I finally learned how to use Photoshop, and we got a logo now. So that's happened. And yeah, we got logo now. So eventually, I don't. At the time I'm recording this, I've only put it on the Twitter, but I'm going to be putting it on the previous episodes if I'm able to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but for sure, this episode will have the logo on it. But yeah, the Twitter, you should follow it. Find out updates. I mentioned like when I post episodes, you get updates for if like episodes not happening, stuff like that. But yeah, you know, hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Oh, and also, just remembered I was going to mention this earlier, but I know I said like this is the last like probably gonna be one of the last things for the Don't Touch America's Boats like mini series in here. However, if you know of any like events like naval battles and stuff that happened because someone attacked like one of one of America's boats or anything similar to that, you know, like message me on the Twitter account, because I might make a video on it, or if it's I can't find like a large amount of information on it. What I might do, it's something I might do if I can get enough like short events of like, someone touched a boat and found out why you should do that. Like I'm planning, do a couple like very combine a couple short stories together into one episode for it. I might do that. I don't know. But anyway, thank you all, for tuning in, and make sure you listen in for next week's episode. See you now.